LG. In the building. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Hold on, let me see some. I don't know if that got much better. King Math, what's the deal? Yeah, I don't know. I think who knows. What's the deal out there, District 120? You finally made it in, but of course, we coming on. It's wild late, but yeah, I was in the mix of dealing with a whole bunch of things. You said, "Peace, my man. Can you build on their knowledge of other than self?" I might could, but you're gonna have to clarify that question. The topic that I had already lined up is supreme mathematics, but inferior results. Just getting into that. Can you build on the knowledge of other than self? I'm saying maybe somebody in the room can help me understand what he's saying. Like, can you build, like, if something is other than self, like, are you saying, like, what does it mean in the 1 and 36 when it says that made him other than his own self? But when you say, other than self, what's the science? Passing, what it is. I got all these screens hooked up, right? And then so I'm looking all over the place. But yeah, that's what it is. Like, I'm just trying to be clear on your question. Is all. You said been studying my lessons daily and staying focused on the greater good. About to clock out in a minute. Yeah, that's what I was saying. You always on that detail right there. But the topic that we had lined up was, but we could get into that, JP. Just uh, he said, how about both at the same time, knowledge of self and knowledge of other than self? I mean, uh, I'm more At this point, I don't know if you're trolling me. Like, I'm more confused now than I was when you first started asking the question. The knowledge of self and the knowledge of other than self. I mean, well, look, let me keep it as simple as I can, right? There's only God and devil on the planet Earth. I don't know, hey, maybe that's what you was looking for. I'll give you a couple of minutes. Okay. Kick myself out of the room real quickly. Kick myself out of the room. So District 120 said that is super troll. King Math said you was trolling. So other people will see what I'm saying too. You said never mind. You don't have knowledge of self, knowledge of other than self, knowledge of the universal. Oh, those are teachings that Master Fard Muhammad taught the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Well, this is not the Nation of Islam over here. I don't know if that's what you was looking for. If you're saying that as if, I mean, you might as well say that there's a place where all the rich people over there have never taken a bath, right? And then expect me to feel ashamed because I take baths. Like, I don't care about those people. You know what I'm saying? You kind of, but I mean, if you would like to discuss, the what'd you call it here? What is? Let me set the screen over here. I can look at what you're saying. You said you don't have knowledge of self, knowledge of other than self, and knowledge of the universal. So Kasim said, He's coming out. Let's balance some of this trolling with some fantastic news. Kasim said he's coming back to the world next year. Back in the free cipher. Hey, look, make that your last time. I don't, I don't know which time that was, and make that your last time. You know what I'm saying? That kind of leads right back in. You know what I mean? Where, you know, if you ended back up in there, that would be the meaning of this live stream. Supreme mathematics, but inferior results because of how you applying them or not applying. You know, that's what we're gonna deal with. In terms of the live stream, but you know, it's. I know it's a little bit early, but welcome home. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you will let us know when it's official. Julia TV. JPF falling. So that was it. We thought you was going to teach us about the knowledge of other than self. You said Malcolm X taught the black man to have the. I'm saying, what are those things? Like you NOI or you Prince Hall? See, that's the science, right, of supreme mathematics and supreme results. See, when you apply your supreme mathematics by teaching, right, then that knowledge still exists, right? That's still there. So if Elijah taught it to Malcolm, Malcolm taught it to you, now it's your turn because Elijah taught that too, right? I don't know how long you've been here, but we rock with Elijah over here. You said the knowledge of other than self is how you understand your enemy. I mean, can you tell us what the knowledge of other than self is? You see what I mean? Like you can tell me that a car is how you travel on the highway, right? But that really doesn't tell me what a car is. You said the knowledge of self is the knowledge of who you are. Okay. And the knowledge of other than self is. Hold on. Because I forgot we in the building today too. Oh, and so that's just in case you would like to clarify further. Uh, if you wanted to clarify any further, uh, JP. So you said the knowledge, yeah, you're not. What is the knowledge of other than self, and uh, what is the knowledge of the universal? Supreme justice. He said, I think he meant the knowledge of the universe. Is that what it is? I mean, JP. Freedom coaching. See, this is the stuff I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Freedom. This is the stuff I don't like. Is when you know, you come and you ask me these questions. You expect me to answer. Like that's like a pet peeve of mine. That other people don't hold themselves to the same standards that they hold me to. Or you give out passes to other people in situations that you ain't give me one, and I don't understand that. He said, I'm a servant of the Creator. I'm not in the NOI. I'm a student of learning about the Savior to the black man and women in North America and his messenger. So they kicked you out? I'm just asking. You're not in the NOI, but you're a servant of the Creator, right? So, uh, who's the Creator, right? And who is the Savior to the black man and woman in North America? FDJ Beats up in here uh, under his Shaolin Temple name. You said, I was just told by someone that God doesn't have a label, so he shouldn't be called the 5%. See, I'm going to tell you something, man. Uh, there's positive and negative in everything, including a college education. feel like this kind of new world. This is not the new world philosophies and stuff. It's not the new age. Yeah, the new age. This ain't that. You said, I never joined. I find the teachings the most important for the black man. So you find the teachings the most important for the black man, right? So how do you live out those teachings? How do you embody that? You said knowledge of the universe? Oh, let me check. Because I thought I read what you said. Oh, I see what it is. Yeah, I looked at you put a exclamation point at the end, and I misread that. Okay, so knowledge of the universe. Okay, so what is the knowledge of the universe? So why does the devil teach the 85% that a mystery God brings all this? Hey, there's the Elijah Muhammad answer. You know what I'm saying? But to keep them in the blender, man. To keep them in the blender, man. To keep you looking that way while all the action is happening that way. But we still waiting for this knowledge. We still waiting for this knowledge. J. Pierre. I would provide more context, though it would be a long and drawn out story. Just want to make knowledge point of some shenanigans that grind my gears. I mean, you know, I could already uh picture it. You know what I'm saying? Just because, you know, that part is a fact, right? That, in every time, in every situation, right? Uh, in every time, in every situation, people gonna have to figure out how to correctly apply mathematics. They're gonna have to figure out how to correctly live it out. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, uh, you know, and then I'm not sure where he's going with that. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, he could be going in a direction where you're trying to mix everything. You know what I'm saying? Or he could be going in a direction where you saying that, look, you know, uh, these various nations that's existed, throughout time, right, is manifestations of this knowledge wisdom. You understand what I'm saying? It's not, uh, we didn't invent the knowledge and wisdom, but this is our good time to manifest it here on the planet because this is where we at. You see what I'm saying? So, in the different days and times, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes the knowledge gets mixed with some stuff, you know what I mean? So to me, that's what it sounds like, when, we don't have labels. But like I said, it depends on where you're going with that. It depends on where you're going with that, especially in this day and time where, uh, you know, uh, you know, brother just said knowledge of self, right? But people deal with the imagination of self, where they imagine themselves, like I can imagine myself to be 5 feet tall. You know, You know, so you know, if you think that, you know, a person that's doing that is not a word, right, that express an idea that let you know what's going on with this person, then that's a little off the deep end for me. You know what I'm saying? So JPS said, I use the knowledge to guide me throughout my travels. It also keeps me from being tricked by the devil. The knowledge of the universe gives you your part with actually facts that are in your 120. What does that mean? What's that? So basically, you just kind of, uh, you just, you kind of like Yaku. But like, see, you over here with us right now, right? And it sounds, you know, what you said so far, you just told us the first 5 degrees in the 1 to 10. Who's the original man? Who's the colored man? Right? What are their nations? Right? And what is their environment? That's the first 5 degrees in the 1 to 10. And you had us here all of this time to say what? At the end, no man, what are you saying? See, because if you manifesting knowledge and wisdom, we just trying to come to an understanding, divine truth. You have to be righteous. What's that? What does that have to do with what you just said? Luke Cage. What's that have to do? I don't see. All right, no doubt, Supreme Just. Yeah, the last live, yeah, we was that was the anniversary show, right? Yeah, we was warmed up. We had the Baji in effect, celebrating, 5 years. But divine understanding. But yeah, JP, just in general, man. You gotta look, and this could be it, right? Because you said that, and look, this is distinct, and I know that this is a particular thing in New York City, right? But this is just the way the geography, the math, the whatever. This is how it works out. See, you're learning the teachings of the Allah that has a, a temple on 127th Street and 6th Avenue. And see, you dealing with the people, right, that deal with the teachings of the Allah that has a school on 126th Street and 7th Avenue. You see how you can get mixed up there? There was actually a brother, we're going to get to that, Phil G, in a minute. Because there was actually a brother, right, that he came out here from California. You know, and he had got out of prison, and the money that they give you, they give you, he took that money and bought a bus ticket straight out here to New York. But this is like the early 90s, so a lot of places the knowledge is very early, just touching down. He really, he's seen the signs, he's met some people, but he's aware that this is something, but he don't know all what it is. Right? He gets out to prison, comes out here, gets a crib at the YMCA, you know what I'm saying? And so he's like, yo, he starts telling people, yo, look, I'm here. I'm looking for, Islam. He don't really know, whatever it is, they send him to the mosque. So he said he goes over there and he sees the brothers there. They got their suits on and their bow ties and everything, right? So he was like, man, this don't look like, like the brothers that was teaching me this. They had a certain style, and that don't look like it. Like that, like he's like, I gotta think about this, right? And he goes around the corner to get a cigarette. And at that time, the store where everybody was going to get to the cigarettes was right directly across the street from the school. So he was like, as soon as he came out the store and he took the cigarettes, he's trying to think about what he's going to do. And he looks across the street and sees the flag. He's like, that's it right there. See, just saying that, look, those that know what they're looking for ain't going to get confused. I said all that story right there just to say that. You know what I mean? Shout out to the brother. You God is his name. He's actually, he came on the live stream a few times. But, he was straight LA. Like, he came out here with the jail clothes on and everything. And one thing or another thing that I would add on to that, right, is you gotta realize that, see, you see how it took you all this time to try to explain to us who's the original man or who's the colored man, and the facts and circumstances of the environment that they in, which is the universe. See how I was able to tell you, because I'm a child of that. See, I have the understanding because I am the understanding. See, it's hard to tell now because time has passed. But listen, I too was the babies, man. I'm the greatest too. You see what I'm saying? And until I decided to stop learning, right? You know, stop activating physically, you know, in order that I'm still gonna be the greatest. But other people gotta have their turn to be on top. So you know that's what I'm saying. You know when you speaking with us, man, you got to stay on your bike, man. Because we don't just have these concepts, right? Getting back to the subject of the live stream, right? The supreme mathematics and the supreme alphabet, right, is not just abstract principles, right? That's strictly allegorical. Like, yeah, we understand the concept, right? That when you talk about the foundation of a house, right? That's not the everything in the universe ain't come from that. It's symbolic to knowledge. We understand that part. But see, the application of putting that foundation there is not symbolic to knowledge. That's the application of knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? That you having the knowledge to know that putting that there is going to make a difference, that's not symbolic. See, that's facts that's, you know, been accumulated through the experience, right, of building different things. And you see now, okay, man, when I build over here where it's all these rocks, my shit ain't sink. But I build over here on this dirt, my shit sank. You know, over here in the swamp. So we can say, okay, we're gonna build our house on the rocks all the time, but now what if we got to be someplace, right, where the food is at? So now we got to produce the rock ourselves and build the foundation, right? And apply that knowledge that we had. So when you just speak and you just ask me, you know, do it. I mean, sometimes it's about the language. You know, if a person come up and asks you, "Do you know what this is?" Right? But they ask you, what they ask you about, they identify it in Spanish. So you just don't know that word. They could say, "Yo, do you know what a fork is?" But when they say fork, right, they use the Spanish terminology for that. So I'm gonna say no. So you gotta, you know, you gotta be clear with your questions. Look, if you want to question, I don't know if you question over here, but you know, look, the wrong question will get you the wrong answer. The right question will get you the right answer. Strange but true. So what's the deal? I don't know what happened. The comments dropped off. Did I go? Did I go on and rant just now and fuck up the flow? Because a minute ago, we was all comments, we was all talking. You know, is it something I said? do do I need to check and see if anybody's in the room still with me. But Phil G asked me a while ago about crypto. See, I think there's a real aspect to it, right? But I think that ship already sailed. Yeah, Bitcoin is crypto, right? But you said I've been exposed. Well, I mean, bro, we just celebrated 5 years on YouTube. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's left to expose, right? But okay, so you said not crypto, but because I kind of understand what you're saying is that they kind of but at the same time, right? Bitcoin, I'm saying the same thing, right? Is that the ship already sailed on that. See, it's one of them things, like for instance, right? One of the places the terminology, where the terminology "Go West, young man" comes from, is because when the new immigrants was coming to the East Coast, this shit was already locked down. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, all of them, they got huge plantations. Like places like Manhattan, right? The whole island is owned by 2 or 3 people. There's General Grant, that you still got Grant's tomb up here, which I think was around the same time. Look, you got Jacob Astor, that Astoria, Queens is named after Astor Avenue all over New York. Astor Places. He was the one that sold the Riken family Rikers Island. So basically, we already got this locked down. We got plantations, everything. We getting this money. If you try and get this money, you gotta go west, bro. You understand what I'm saying? The ship had already sailed. Is it going to be a few people, man, who's able to work their way in? Indeed, but Freedom Culture said the ship it didn't sail yet. I find it imperative to get in, stay in, and a weakening dollar is the other option. Yeah, that's true. JPF falling. JPF falling. You know, some people is bored though too. You gotta and then you gotta understand too, right? This is another thing. This is something that I drew up from seeing other people, right? From watching other videos, right? how many people in for the while I'm building too, Phil G, you say you see what I'm saying, but you kind of see it a bit different. Manifest how you see it while I'm saying what I'm saying, right? But see, one thing I've seen about uh YouTube, right? YouTube is like WWF. Not WWE, WWF. Where everything is over the top. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's over the top. Meaning like there's some dudes, like there's this one guy that to me, it's like you know how you used to be looking at WWF, right? And the dude is doing his interview with Mean Gene Okerlund, right? And he's talking shit about the dude that he's got the fight lined up with, right? And then the dude that he's talking about run out the back, bash him over the head with a chair, and just stomp him out. There's a guy on YouTube that's him to me. You know, there's people that's like Macho Man, Randy Savage, like they just and see the people that watch it the same way. Because you know how it's those people in wrestling that you hate them. you you hate them. But listen, the people come, they bring just as many people out as the people that people is coming to see George the Animal Steel. You know, for me, you got Ricky Steamboat, you got George the Animal. You know, I like George the Animal. Yeah, I didn't like Ric Flair. Cern Love from the hood missed us by that much. You said money will be ran on digital rails, ISO 2022 compliant blockchains. You said if Bitcoin is digital gold, then it has become at least a market cap of gold, which means we're talking a 9-10 times from here. There's still a significant upside potential there. But see, and this is the question, right? I'm not an economist, right? But you still measuring that value in terms of dollars. Am I correct? You know, like the Bitcoin has a certain balance against the dollar, is worth this many dollars, and gold, right, has this many dollars, or is worth this many dollars, and then you factoring in how much Bitcoin it is, right, and what's the future potential to get more Bitcoin, and how much gold it is, and what's the future potential to get more gold, right? But right now, it's all still measured in dollars. Ankh MD said, I would recommend everyone to read the white papers by Satoshi Nakamoto. Bitcoin has been a blessing for us in Africa. Till then, you don't understand what Bitcoin is. No one Bitcoin, no one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. Okay, so how do you get a Bitcoin? You said, no, I measure it against purchasing power in the future. Okay, this is what I'm saying, right? You have feudalism, and then you have mercantilism, and you have capitalism, right? And what I'm saying is that each system boosted off of the last system, right? And some, some uh, characteristics of feudalism we still have right now, right? One of the things about the system of feudalism is labor was pretty much free. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so how are we? It's still coming from this system that's based on the dollar. You said by buying it with fiat money. So that's what I'm saying. If you can buy it with fiat money, right, then it has a value in fiat money. Like there's not in America, right? You did say Africa, so it could just be a difference of experience, right? In America, there's nothing that's valued. It's not like you can get a computer for 5,000 donuts. There might be some people that might be like, yeah, let's trade like that. You said it's as simple as the Fed is printing more money, and there's a new asset class that's being considered a flight to safety by highly regarded economists. Money will flow to the new asset class. I got sincere. You said the difference between currency and capital. Currency is an exchange instrument. Capital is economic energy power. Indeed. But okay, how does that tie in with Bitcoin? He said it ties in because Bitcoin has emerged as the world's most powerful economic capital network. Okay, uh, how so? I missed it. Like and right now, uh, BlackRock is the most powerful economic capital network in the world that I know about. The blockchain technology behind it is sick. Okay, but this thing that when you say becoming the most powerful economic capital network, now we talking about uh now they the same things. District 120, you know, the see what Freedom is talking about where utility coins is like Bitcoin is supposed to be, it's an argument over whether it's just a store of value, something that people is buying like art, or rather you could use it for something. You know what I'm saying? Like people buying stuff, sending people money in other countries, et cetera, like that. You know what I'm saying? Some of the coins don't really uh, got a purpose. They don't even really have a market that, like when you see on the dollar bill, we say this. What said this? It don't say documents, but it said this paper is legal tender for all debts, public and private. Right? That's is backed up by the government, because the government is saying you can only pay your taxes in dollars. But if they start taking, this coin, or people start exchanging, goods and services, and money itself through these different coins, then it has a utility, a use. Those are two different things right there. You said it's important not to hesitate to experiment with crypto and do the knowledge. So, doing the knowledge is kind of slowing down, but you said don't hesitate first. Hold on, let me see these. You said the decentralized aspect of it makes it less mutable than the like of a BlackRock. Ankh said, and there's a maximum amount of Bitcoin available, which is like 21 million coins, and can no one can own it all. So you say here it has a freedom aspect to it and a trustless aspect that makes it more powerful and purposeful. So it's a harder asset to own than any centralized entity, because it can't be stopped or debted. So, but the market in Bitcoin is the peer-to-peer payment and the open ledger. So then that means there has to be a critical mass of people that get involved with it. And ultimately that's what's happening. Those people have to agree that this is, it's like when you see that's an old school thing. Raise your hand if you old school, right? Remember when we used to go to arcades, and when you got to the arcade, the machines took their own money. Like when you went to the arcade, they had particular coins that the arcade made, or they had made. So when you went there, let's say you wanted to play 4 games at that time, right? We used to play the games for a quarter. You know what I mean? It was the way it works now. You just press the start button, but back then it was these machines at the store, and some they had these places. We go all video games, right? So when you go in there and you give the man your money, right? Then we agree that this is cash here. right? If somebody, if I drop one of these jump offs in here, right? Even though this is not, you can't spend this money outside and fight you for that. Because in here, we've agreed that this is money. Yeah, you know, my daddy just wigged out. I just got a message which slowed me down. I had a message in Spanish. I'm looking at it like, yo, what kind of people is trying to scam me or some shit? We talking about Bitcoin, somebody trying to scam me. You know, people be texting, you gotta watch that. But then I just realized that that number is my daughter. Right. Those coins that we got at the at the uh at the arcades, right? Those was non-fungible tokens, but they was tangible. See, at the end of the day, it's still a money, it's still a system for money. And so and you know, look, this like I said, I'm not an economist. So a lot of things when I look at stuff, right, a lot of times I'm just looking at it from the standpoint of I know arithmetic, you know, and just you know, we saying arithmetically do some things do that work out. So my life is showing and proving this crypto is hitting. I'm a little compassionate about helping brothers get properly informed. I mean, indeed, can't can't be upset about that. You said check El Salvador. They made it legal tender, and they are doing great. It's also an idea on a metaphysical tip. I'm in Vietnam, living like I'm retired. I mean, I understand all that, but look, here's a is and this is a question, I guess more right. You know, based upon uh, a concept that was very strong in the monetary based system, right? And uh, this is kind of a question about the decentralized aspect, right? Is uh, what's going to stop it from still being big bank take little bank? Like, what is the characteristic of Bitcoin? Said if you got the right tips, you can make a lot. Do mean, I mean, if you got the right tips, you know, you can make money in anything. You know, if I happen to have a tip to where there was some oil underground, you know, I mean, shit, that's the name of the game. So I've been studying what they've been doing with the money for 4 years, and I basically have a master's in this shit. You know, hey, but what's the aspect that's gonna stop it from being Big bank take little bank. The son of man, and I don't think the son of man got nothing to do with that. So Ankh said that the 21 million coin cap is going to stop it from being big bank, little bank, or stop it from being big bank, take little bank. So what you're saying, or what I'm getting from what you're saying, is that uh, being that it's a 21 million limit, that there won't be able to be a big bank. You said only self can prevent. See, this is, I mean, look, that's just what happens, I'm saying. In terms of, when we just talking about economies, right? Because we're not talking about all of teaching and all of that. We're not talking about, is it going to be a more moral world with Bitcoin and all of that, right? We're just talking about it being a different economic system. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you said big banks would do what they do. No, I'm saying big bank, as in the people that got the most money, is able to manipulate the system. You said that's too far thinking. There's a lot of babies that can be fed in between time. I mean, at the present moment, though, babies can be fed with dollars too. I'm just saying that, uh, the system is what it is. And when you peel back all the layers, it's based on what it's based on. Not saying that everybody that, does something in the system is that's what's on their mind, but is see, capitalism, like I said, it came out of mercantilism, where you had all these peasants that was getting kicked off of their land. And when the peasants was getting kicked off of their land, started going into all of that was because the Industrial Revolution came about. So to have these factories and to be doing other things with the land as capital became, you can make more money doing that. And so you got all these peasants, they starving. You're giving them enough just to eat because that's all they really require right now. At the same time, you got slavery going. So to this day, when you see them saying that, look, we don't want to pay people more money, we don't want to, give people benefits, et cetera, whatever it is, right? That's because the system is still based on that. It's because the system of capitalism, right, never figured in the cost of high cost of labor. It's like right now, if you were selling cups of ice, right? You was selling cups of ice for 50 cents, but you was getting the cups free from your job. Like you worked at a place where it was just millions and millions of cups that they had that they never did nothing with. So you was getting the cups from there. And you selling the cups of ice for 50 cents. But then what happens when you gotta pay 20 cents for the cups, 30 cents for the cups, $1? You never figured that in to your system. So what I'm saying is, how can Bitcoin? What can Bitcoin do about that? Because I'll tell you this: that this is where something is coming. Something is coming. See, when you see these various, see the government is not doing away with money. They letting the corporations do away with it. They letting the banks do away with it. You see what I'm saying? So, I remember at the peak of cash, right? Well, I don't know if it was the peak of cash, but I remember when there was ATMs where you could get $700. Now, a lot of ATMs only give you like $200. If you go to the bank and try to withdraw out more than a certain amount of cash, they ask you what you want it for. Like, what the fuck you mean what I want it for? I'm letting you hold this shit, motherfucker. Fuck is wrong with you? What I want it for? To throw off the goddamn roof and act like it's birds. What the fuck you mean what I want it for? But they weaning the people down. Even the aspect of how, you go in the store and there's hardly nothing in there. You gotta shop online now. They just stuff like you just trying to look. I just want to go to the store, man. Just go in and just get this real quick. I don't want to wait for the mail and all this shit. I don't want to give these people all my motherfucking information, right? Just to buy a fucking bottle of water. You said Bitcoin being adopted on a nation state level, so hyper Bitcoinization will set a new system in play where we back the transactional instrument with the commodity. Okay, but Phil G, isn't that square one? Once it's adopted on a nation state level, what I mean, it's just like, over the time in New York City, right, to get on a train, there's been all different kinds of tokens. It's been all uh, various tokens that they used to get on the train, but they all did the same thing. You said, yes, it is for a new system, but the difference is we have a chance to front run the nations and come up. That's so. Look, we back to the beginning of the conversation, right? Where, okay, explain. Because what I'm saying is that at least with Bitcoin, right? Freedom culture is talking about a little different stuff, right? But at least with Bitcoin, I'm saying that that ship has sailed. It's never happened before. What's never happened before? Yeah. Oh, you saying that? Okay, I could. Well, there could be some pushback on that. There could be some pushback on that. You know what I mean? Like, what about those brothers and sisters, right, that own land out in the Midwest, right? That oil got found on, and then but when they owned the land from before, oil was a thing like that, a whole industry. And then when the industry came about, they first found the oil on their land or whatever, and then they found a way to beat them out of the ownership of the land and the proceeds of the resource. You know, guaranteed. We could definitely say that. Not on no grand scale. But I mean, and again, this could just be the product of a poorly spent youth, right? But see, money gotta go with violence. You know, it's probably not supposed to be that way. But see, when you brought that in, you kind of opened the door for that because I didn't want to bring that up. But when you said the adoption by nation states, See, now we really talking about violence. You said read the white papers, and then we can continue on the bill later. I mean, I'm not sure, uh, my questions is about this thing interfacing with the world. So, pretty much the white paper could say, whatever, you know, uh, in my opinion, even if we agree 100% with the white paper, and even in terms of that, in those kind of senses, right? Like, and what I'm saying, like in the sense of freedom culture as an individual with the you said Trump is on what? And when you're dealing with a situation like the brother was saying in Africa, right? Uh there's less system to be disrupted. With everything, there's going to be a balance, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't just change one thing on this side of the equation. Remember back in the days in arithmetic where uh Andre Coleman, welcome to the channel. Remember back in the days in arithmetic when they was like, look, if you do something on this side of the equal sign, you gotta do it on this side of the equal sign. Is gonna have some kind of effect. So uh it's one of them things, right, where the level of disruption that would come about, right? Let's say what you're saying worked out. The level of disruption that would come about, are we ready for that? Yeah, we got a lot of new people on the channel today. Welcome to all of y'all. Shout out. We the 5% on here. That's what we got a little off into, but y'all look interested in it, so that's good. But welcome to the channel. You said because you are not sounding like you understand what you're talking about, calling it money, we can't ignore the intention in the original document. I mean, you could also just explain what it is that you mean. I'm saying because uh you know what at the how are you using it? Because a lot of things that we said here, right, is means of exchange. So see, like I said, the paper can say whatever it wants. The Bible says that it's about truth and righteousness. But in application, they use it to justify slavery. That's really what I'm talking about. You said the U.S. is going to use it as a store of value. Okay. So how is that value going to be expressed? Meaning, let's say when the dollar was based on gold, right? Then the gold is the store of value. And that value is expressed in the form of those paper dollars. This is how we exchange, right? Value for value, right? The value of your labor is stored in the dollars that you make when you get paid, right? And then you're going to exchange that for the value of somebody's knowledge, time, and labor that they put in to whatever product, right, that you want. Like you know, how do we talk all this economic stuff? What are we talking about there? Like, how do this value, right? How do I use it? Complete. Like, how does this value, right? Because at the end of the day, if you're saying that the Bitcoin is going to push the dollar out, right? Okay, the dollars, and look, this ain't no defense of dollars. I'm just saying that this is the reality for me. This is how the rubber hits the road for me, right? I used dollars when I went to the supermarket today. So you got to hit the link. I use dollars. Hold on, let me put the link back in. When I went to the supermarket today, right? So if this is going to take out the dollar, then yeah, that's what I need to know. I need to know that when I go to get my chicken breasts, how is that going to happen? Okay, you're saying the dollar is an IOU, right? But this is what I'm saying. Okay, let's say I forget about dollars, right? Let's say I forget about dollars, right? Because see, this is something too. Let me explain this too, right? Just my understanding of an economy, right, is that the economy, that is what it is. It's something that's in service of people. Meaning, this is how people exchange goods and services. You know, whether we're using the barter system, whether we're using money, whether we're using Bitcoin, it's about the benefit that we can get from it. It's about the benefit that if if I if I am a master of catching fish, right? That and I want to get some string beans from somebody who's a master at growing string beans. right? The economy is not doing good when we've amassed a whole bunch of fish and string beans. It's doing good when he got fish and him and his people is doing, and I got string beans. And see, when it gets the other way, right? That's when you get to what we dealing with right now. So there's the concepts of Bitcoin that you're saying, right? But how is it going to interface with people? That's what I'm saying. When I go to the supermarket to get my chicken breasts, am I going to wave my hand? What's going to happen? That's the question you got to answer for me. Not is it better than the dollar? Not is it being manipulated by the Federal Reserve? The first law of nature is self-preservation, right? How am I going to survive if it knocks out the dollar? And I'm not saying that I won't be able to, but I'm just saying for those that's, how do we say I got a skill that I trade for fiat money when I get my fiat money, don't put it in the bank. I buy Bitcoin, store it in a dead wallet in my house. My fiat money is not being used to kill. You see, now look, maybe now I understand what you're saying when you say that it's not money, because you said you buy it and then you store it in a dead wallet in your house. And see, money has to flow. It's got to circulate to really be money. Hold on. Yes, people. Let's get some. We got some guests on here.
Yo, peace.
Peace.
Peace. Can you hear me, Darkim?
I can't hear nothing.
Yeah, I can hear you.
This Phil G.
So, you
Give me
said,
a moment. I'm on a motorbike. I can't hear you.
I want to elaborate real quick. I'm at the Justice right now, but I got time to elaborate real quick if I can.
all right, hold on. Let's go one at a time. Bill G, mute your mic.
Ah,
All right.
All right, freedom culture. What's the deal? Freedom culture, you on? You hear me? Are you? Well, he's doing something. So let's go the other way, but not no pause. I mean, let's bring Phil G up.
Peace. You hear me?
You got to watch. You got to watch. In a way these days that I'm not used to. You know what I'm saying? When I was growing up, you was able to talk a little bit more freely.
Yo, I'm at the Justice, but I got a minute, so I want to build real quick with you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't trying to say that that BTC was gonna get rid of the dollar. My whole thing is that it's gonna integrate with the dollar. So the dollar is still gonna be used as a transactional instrument. This is how I'm foreseeing it. It's because everybody wants to hold dollars all around the world. So because we so adjusted and accustomed to doing that, that's not going to go away. However, like in history, the dollar would just be backed by Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is the commodity, like gold was a commodity, and the dollar would be the fiat instrument or the transactional instrument that we will continue to use, to do our dealings on a daily basis.
I mean, see, here's my question, right? At some point, whatever is the store of value, right, has to be able to be exchanged food, clothing, shelter, medicine, you know, things that is going to sustain life.
Right. So you can still do that with dollars because the dollar will be tagged to the Bitcoin. So if you want to, you have the option to trade the BTC or you can trade the dollars. It's all up to you. It's not like you don't have an option. You can do either or. But what I'm
Okay.
saying is that
So in that
that's
in that sense, right, then the Bitcoin is just another denomination of money. Like you got $1
yes,
bills, $5 bills.
it, it's a harder money. See, the dollar not really money. The dollar is just paper. You know what I'm saying? But it's used as a medium of exchange, and it's only backed by the word of the government, right? The government say it is what it is because that's what fiat means by decree. So they decree that this is worth something. You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is represented by a consensus of people that agree that we want this as our money, but a harder money than fiat because fiat ain't really backed by nothing.
Right.
So
Look,
so so so
this is what it's backed by though. It's backed by the value of the labor produced by the American people. Like when they say the full faith and credit of the American people, right? That means that, okay, if push comes to shove, right, we can send you all the grapes in California. If push comes to shove, we can send you all the lumber we harvest in Washington State this year. Like there's things,
those are commodities. Those are commodities, but the
right?
idea
Well,
of
but wait, hold on. But that's where we coming from. That's what you're saying when you're saying that the value is going to be stored in Bitcoin, right? Then Bitcoin becomes a commodity.
right, it's a hard commodity because it can't be deteriorated. It can't like spoil like a bunch of grapes, or it can't get rained on and ruined like a stack of wood. Bitcoin is not a tangible thing, so it's the idea that makes it a harder money and the scarcity aspect of it that makes it a harder
See,
version of money.
okay, now here's my question about just the term that you use, right? Because just just the definition when you say hard money, right? Because
Right.
here's the thing, right? There's a flip side, right? Supposedly, one of the ways that money came from was that it was much easier to carry the money than it was to carry the commodities that the money.
hmm
Okay, so now, right, we in the Bitcoin world. What if your cell phone battery died?
hmm
You broke.
Now you charge your phone.
That's what I'm saying. But listen, what if
You charge your phone.
what if you needed the money? What if you needed the coin? Look, they was like, look, you want to charge your phone? That that'll
No,
be that'll be 10 Bitcoins. What if
no. So listen. So you got hard wallets, right? And you got cold wallets, right? So a hard wallet is something that is external from the cell phone. You know what I'm saying? And I don't actually own a hard wallet, but my understanding of it is that you could, use that to transfer your coins if that's the case. If you want to do that,
So
so
it
it's
it worked with the internet
uh,
stuff.
I think it uses QR codes, QRC codes, and also addresses. Like they have addresses that you could transfer, your Bitcoin to another address or whatnot, to another wallet.
Hmm.
So
So it can work. It can work through your phone or through the hard wallet. You know what I mean? But it's digital. So as long as you got your seed phrase, you can always access it. It's not going nowhere just because your phone died. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying?
if you need it in a pinch, just the same way. Look, if you lose your regular wallet, you know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
mean, well, you keep some cash on you then. You know what I'm saying? Like I stated, the cash is not going to
Now look,
expire as a
Andre Coleman,
transactional instrument.
Andre Coleman asked a question I never heard asked before. Can
What's
Bitcoin
up?
can Bitcoin go bankrupt?
No,
Well,
absolutely not.
I
Andre
mean,
Coleman, they said the answer is no. I don't I
anything
don't
could
know.
happen. In my opinion, anything could happen with a mystery story. Like the inception of Bitcoin is still staged as a mystery. So mysterious things could happen with Bitcoin. You know, like
You ever heard the phrase of a bank that's too big to fail? You ever heard of that?
Right?
Yeah, that's what Bitcoin is right now. It's $1 trillion asset that's
yeah,
that's growing
But
every second. It's too big to fail now. We got nation states, we got
no, see,
institutional
it,
institutions.
that's
yo,
where the
God,
violence comes in. That though, the
Phil,
I'm not
reason
saying that ain't gonna happen.
the only
yo,
reason
God,
the bank is too big to fail is because they control the violence.
I'm gonna tell you,
Word.
peace,
So hold
peace.
on, let's let Freedom coach you because y'all got a little bit two different aspects. Where you talking about Bitcoin and he's talking about utility coins. So let's hear his perspective.
Word. Peace.
Peace, God. Like since to me, since the inception, not even to me, it's like that. Since the inception of Bitcoin, you know, the whole story is as real as Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? They go with Satoshi, Kamato, and all that. What that was is to introduce the idea of digital currency to get liquidity, get people in the network. Now, there's a thing called Tether, which is a stable coin that's used to prop up the price of Bitcoin to bring in some type of artificial value to get people to like, yo, this is going up. I better go ahead and jump in. And that's more liquidity for the people that got in a lot early to sell on, you know? And with me, I like to be sturdy, I like to be solid, and I like to sleep at night. So I'm not gonna trust anything that's manipulated already. And this is an early asset class. You know what I'm saying? And it's already manipulated. Like Bitcoin, that acronym stands for bite the cheese. You know what I'm saying? BTC, bite the cheese. And it's exposing people to this new world, the central bank world. The central bank digital currencies is what they're eventually going to get people into. Um, predictive programming and all that. Um, I'm into utility coins, the coins that they will need. That's not as sexy. That's not as popular. You don't hear people talking about it. This is XRP, XLM, Algo, and stuff like that. Now these are ISO 222 compliant coins. Now ISO international standard, that's an international standard. That's a new technology that the whole world has to agree upon, like the railroad, the metric system. Those were all ISO. And now blockchain technology being a new tech, the whole world got to deal with it. They're using it to transfer money between central banks. Now, what these blockchains are payment rails. We're talking about the dollar. We're talking about fiat currency. But those fiat currencies they travel on the payment rails. You know, it's not, it's different from money. It's what money is riding on. You know what I'm saying? And the value of those payment rails, it's a great idea because it costs less fees. It's much more faster, so the value is gonna go up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Now,
why it's a utility coin.
hold on, one thing before you continue, right? I think by law, I don't know, I ain't sure, right? But we have to say that this is a 5% channel. This is not an economic channel. We don't give out economic advice. We having conversation about this topic. You know what I'm saying? This is not uh you know economic advice or tips or none of that. You know what I mean? But go ahead.
Yeah, it's not financial advice at all, guy. But I feel like it's really important to to be proactive, because like the value of the dollar is sinking by the moment. I mean, you was talking about like before we was able to get $700 at the ATM, and now it's $200. Prices are going up while the dollar is going down. You know what I'm saying? Um, and that's why I feel like it's important to get in on an asset that you could get in for under $1 now to travel into this next system that they got going on, because it's
Mhm.
going up.
See, I think the the main thing, the two main things you got. Well, actually, it's the same thing. Is uh you know people got to know how it's gonna affect them. You know what I'm saying? Meaning like when at one time it was tokens and then they moved to the Metro card. You know what I'm saying? So people would need to know like, yo, how is this gonna work? Like we got the machines now, you know what I'm saying? All those whatever's the various things. What happens if I swipe the thing and it takes my money, you know what I'm saying? All of this that's kind of the bureaucracy, you know what I'm saying, that has to build up around anything that's going to have that big type of impact in society like that. You know what I'm saying? So, that's where it comes down to a lot of times. Where it's like, yeah, you can explain the concept, but I'm saying coming from the perspective of, look, uh, there's been other things that have been the store of value and the exchange of value over the years. You know what I'm saying? From uh, seashells, rocks, wooden sticks, you know what I'm saying? All various things. So, uh, you know, what is the difference? Like for instance, right? You got uh, countries that they switched to the euro, right? Because their economy was destroyed, and you got other countries that switched to it because they wanted to be a part of whatever economic benefits that was involved with that. You see what I'm saying? So by the same token, we gotta. I mean, if the point is to get people to see that this could be a benefit to them, right?
Word.
You gotta demonstrate the benefit. Like you gotta be like, see, right now, it's like it's like Microsoft. See, Microsoft is all this complicated shit. See, Apple, they show you exactly how you can use a computer. You understand what I'm saying? Like the iPhone was just them showing you one of the capabilities of computing. You know what I'm saying? And they designed the computer for you to use in that way. You know what I'm saying? The iPhone, the what you call that other, the iPad. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
But
the user friendly, something that's user friendly.
yeah,
How's it
but
going? How's it going to interface with people in a user friendly way?
right. And so it's the same thing when you just explaining that you know, these various things is stores of currency and this and that, and it's like, yeah, but when I walk in the store, right, how much I'm gonna have to pay for a loaf of bread?
Right, and that's what I was trying to explain. Like, the people of the world are still going to be able to use what they're accustomed to using when it comes to transactions, which is the dollar. All I'm saying is that when it comes to saving your economic energy, you want to put it in something that's going to yield a return that's worthy of your work right now, and also that's going to grow into something more in the future. So what options do we have? Now we got to roll down the list of options that we have to choose. And I'm saying that over the course of the last 15 years, Bitcoin is the most successful and um, the best performing asset that's in existence. So if you want to save your wealth, you want to save your money, you want to save your economic energy into the future, then that's what you need to grab. You need to grab you something that's going to yield you a return that's guaranteed. Now, Bitcoin is fundamentally it's it's only 21 million of them. That means that it's a scarce asset, and it becomes less and less in circulation as time goes on. If I'm saying anything wrong, Freedom could jump in.
Oh, no, you speaking facts, you know what I'm saying? But, see, I like to get into the nitty gritty of the details and stuff like that. So this is,
I can do that. I'm just trying to keep it practical for those that's listening, because Darkim want us to give, you know,
that's, yeah, that's the
practical
story.
explanation for people.
Now
No,
look,
but
here's a question.
what you
Here's
speaking,
a, here's a question. Here's a question, right? What is the mechanism of the appreciation of the value, right? Meaning like the
It's
the
the having. It's the
the real,
having. It's the having of it.
the real
Like with
estate
Bitcoin.
market. The real estate market is the mechanism by which the value of your house goes up, right?
right? So there
Right.
is mechanism, you know, uh, all right, so we got the Federal Reserve. When they cut back on rates, that's when more money is printed in the system, and you know that money travels into the stock market. And now we got this new asset class that's being graciously being accepted, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Now there is another mechanism with Bitcoin that's not as popular, but that's the tether. Stablecoin, where people are buying stablecoins to that's backed by nothing to boost up the price of Bitcoin. You know, like I said before, like they're using that as a mechanism to boost up the price of Bitcoin, and then that Bitcoin drops. Like right now, we're in a dip, and that's when people buy. And it's kind of like a pump and dump.
Okay, right. Now I'm glad you said that because that was going to be my next question, right? In terms of providing clarity to the people, right? Now, Bitcoin, like at the end of the pandemic, I remember Bitcoin was like 30 something, I think. You know what I'm saying? And now it's up close to 100, right? But it did that quietly, right? And what happened loudly was a whole bunch of scams and shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
how do you know what I'm saying? Like, when people think about it now, the image of it during the pandemic was that, yo, this is a viable option right here to make money. But since then, right, it's become just scam after scam after scam. So
Well, proper education always corrects errors. You know what I'm saying? In that time, that's when the people supposed to get educated and do the knowledge and research to learn about the fundamentals of every coin that they may be interested in. I know all about the ISO coins, and that's not a bad investment either. For me, it's either Bitcoin or that, because the others, both of them have use cases, just different use cases. But if people want to know the benefit of it, they got to get educated on it, man. And it's really just that simple. Like, I got invested in it in 2020. I bought the coin when it was 13 G's, right? I held on that whole time through that whole wave when it went up and down and back up again. But that's only because I had the conviction through the education that I was getting at that time. So,
That's right, and exact. I also wanted to comment on when
I
you
got to I
mentioned.
got to dip, fellas. I got to get back to work, man. But I want to say peace, and I appreciate you, Darkim, and I appreciate you, Freedom, for sure.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace, peace.
Now, I got to tell you, right, that this system also seems based on confidence.
Yeah, I mean, there's a network of people that's holding the same thing, and I kind of go off of confidence too, because there's more of a network of people gradually buying these ISO 222 coins. Uh, there's more of a utility, so not everybody's gonna sell overnight. Like something like a meme coin, there's no confidence. There's something. It goes off a hype. Whatever whatever people it's attention. Attention currency. So whatever people's wherever the attention is going, if you got in early, if you got in when it was at fractions of a penny, and then you boost up that coin, get everybody talking about it. I remember Jim Jones had some a coin like that. Donald Trump, he does the same shit. Um, and then you sell on them. You know what I'm saying? And that's called a rug pull. You could make up a coin right now. You know what I'm saying? And then have everybody like hype up about it, and you got it for the price of air. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And now you're gaining money, liquidity. That's called liquidity. You know what I'm saying? And then you can sell it. But in the case of utility tokens, where it's more serious, it's not the casino. It's not the. This is something that they plan on using and trap. So I wanted to comment on when I hear you mentioning means of exchange frequently. It's the concept is different. Like the blockchains, you wouldn't be exchanging XRP, you wouldn't be exchanging XLM or Bitcoin. That's a clunky environment. It will be something traveling. You'll still be using fiat. You know what I'm saying? Government currencies are still going to be in play. It's how there's a lot of things in the background while we're dealing with the money. There's a lot of no-show, virtual accounts. There's a lot of money that got to transfer from one bank to the next bank because they're out of cash. You know what I'm saying? So it's valuable for the banks. You know, it's more valuable for the banks. So you'll still be dealing with cash. You know, I don't see cash going away. They're looking to making things more digital. That's why you're seeing more QR codes around the area. I'm in Vietnam right now, and everybody has a cell phone. Everybody is on their phones, and they're looking to introduce blockchain technology into this environment to bank the unbanked. That's their primary goal is to bank the unbanked. You know,
And
and
how does that work? Because uh, is a picture that I'm getting right is that the unique thing about it, right, is that it's a commodity that's not controlled, right? It's like you can invest in oil, but it's controlled. It's highly regulated. You see what I'm saying? So uh, with this, Bitcoins and the other coins, right? You have the people uh, that's involved with it, uh, who's, they regular people. So, we can assume that, I guess, uh, that kind of control this commodity. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Right now, there's no control. Right now, that's why they're scaring people out of it. I was working in the finance sector, and they was telling people you'd be fired if you talk about Bitcoin. You know, it. You'll be called a conspiracy theorist, all this crazy stuff. This started from the. This was like the born that Occupy Wall Street, in 2009, when people woke up to the banks, and that caused the market. Um, and then Bitcoin was created out of that. Um, you was able to get that shit for like 10 cents. So the greatest fear to now, the greatest fear is government not having control over money. You know what I'm saying? So they'll put up a lot of smear campaigns, have you really pessimistic. Meanwhile, you could have scored, you could have had Bitcoin when it was at $90. Look at it now; it's at 10,000. You could have had a couple of bitcoins or whatever. And the same as though with these other coins. You feel me? Like shit, like crypto saved my life when I was about to get evicted in 2020. You know, I looked at my digital wallet because I threw some change at it at something, and boom, it took off. Now we could get more technical and talk about Metcalfe's law, where the networking effect spikes up prices really fast. Spikes up the value of the technology. We could talk about Moore's law. You know, so this thing isn't gonna go away. It's not gonna go away. This is like this is like the new light switch. This is the best thing since sliced bread right now, for real. And you know, I really feel like it's imperative if we already know we know the knowledge now. Like I think it's imperative to start like being active with it and get our justice, or else we just nice. You know what I'm saying? And we just gonna deal with what they giving us. You know what I'm saying? Which is central bank digital currencies, which I like to kind of like shed light on. That's not cool, and I feel like original people are prime suspects to accepting central bank digital currencies, which is more control. That's what they want you to have. They want you to have the welfare version of cryptocurrency, where they have like entire control of how much you're spending, what you could do with it. It could get tracked. You can't save it. You know what I'm saying? And people like speaking for myself, I don't agree with a lot of things. That's the popular narrative. So I feel like there will be limitations, sort of like my social media accounts getting blocked and stuff like that. So there will be limitations to central bank digital currencies and how much money I get. So that's why I feel, just in preparation, thinking on getting something outside of that system.
I mean, I just it's I mean, for one, what I'm saying, people they need to have a deeper understanding that, like, of what you're saying, because even in terms of like you said, you could just jump on the bandwagon, right, of whatever ones have been the most stable up to now, right? uh but when you doing the rest of the investment, right, you know what are some of the things that a person could tell the difference between a scam, right, and a a more stable investment than a scam?
So like I do the knowledge on everything. Like even when I did my degrees and stuff like that, I did my history, and to make sure it's right and exact, to make sure I digest things properly. And when I come across a new coin that like for instance XRP, that coin was introduced to me, I'm like, all right, who's the people behind it? You know what I'm saying? There's developers. Who's their roster? It's sort of like a ball team. They and their roster are people from the government. A lot of people was transferring working from a government to working for this private entity, which is Ripple, who produces the XRP coin. Who's the roster of Algorand? Algorand, there's a whole bunch of people from the MIT institution in Boston, which is the largest institution in tech, and they started recruiting a lot of people from to Algorand. So I look at the network just so I could sleep at night. You know what I'm saying? I don't even go into the technicals and what's the resistance level and the Fibonacci and all that. I just go on. I kind of go off confidence in that regard. Reputable, highly regarded developers and their mission, and its use case. So when it comes to a coin that is a lot of hype and you can't find a nice, clean website on, you know what I'm saying? I'll stay away from it because, you know, it should have a website at least. You know what I'm saying? It should have a clean website. You could go on Quant, Quant. Their website is nice. Ripple, all of their websites, HBAR, Hedera Hashgraph. They're, just on a simple tip, you could just go on the website and see how clean it is, and then like look further more into it. But if crypto doesn't have a website, then don't I wouldn't mess with it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. I mean, it's I guess yeah, everybody do their research, what I'm saying, definitely before you get involved. Like I say, I'm definitely not a financial expert or nothing like that to be giving out no advice. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we get back to the topic of the live stream now.
Yo, I appreciate you bringing me on here. You know what I'm saying? I'm really compassionate about getting people more, financially. I came from the nothing. You know what I'm saying? I came from the nothing, and I did the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. You know what I'm saying? And it got me better than where I am before. And we are in a new wave of everything in life. So, and crypto, blockchain, and all that is a part of it. And I feel like we shouldn't be too shy and with the knowledge on that. And you know, we could change our lives with it. You know what I'm saying? Not to sound cliche or whatever, but I think there's room for optimism here.
Well, definitely, you know what I'm saying, because like you was just saying, you've achieved supreme results with it. You see what I mean? For one thing, that's another thing. People gotta understand. Everything is not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Uh, a person got certain talents, certain skills, certain abilities. You know what I'm saying? Certain environments that those talents, skills, and abilities developed in. You know what I'm saying, and all of that. You know, was unsuccessful in various realms. You know what I mean? But uh, just getting back to like I said, the level of the live stream, right? You know what I'm saying, or the title of the live stream, supreme results. I mean, supreme mathematics, but inferior results. You know what I'm saying? Is based upon how a person apply their mathematics. You know what I mean? Is that's when you get into right and exact.
Indeed.
You
I
see what I'm
learned how to
saying?
learn through mathematics. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know how to learn until I got mathematics, you know?
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So, uh, a lot of times, you know, a person, you think because you know mathematics, so I'm not going to say you, but one might think that because they know mathematics, right? Like just because you were speaking mathematics while you did something, it doesn't mean that you apply mathematics to that thing that you was doing. You see what I'm saying? So just even like you saying right now, as the advice that, well, not advice, but what you were saying, the way you went through doing this, right, is that you did the knowledge, right? You didn't just hear about investment, you know what I'm saying, and just went off the wisdom, you know what I'm saying? You was like, all right, let me apply the knowledge and do all the due diligence that's necessary. You know what I'm saying? You know, these is things that don't end up happening. And so, I'm saying that as a reflection, to the masses of the people and also inside the nation. Where there's certain events, there's certain things where you might hear people say, or certain places where people would say, look, I don't go over there because the people have achieved inferior results. Like when I go over there, right, I can't see the manifestation of the supreme mathematics and supreme alphabet that they speaking about. You know what I'm saying? And see, that's that's circling the drain right there too. Because there's no other people that's we the nation, we the 5%.
Mathematics is universal language. You know what I'm saying? Like,
once you say, look, well, because that person is not doing what they supposed to be doing, then I'm not supposed to. Then I'm not going. Now that's two people that's not doing what they supposed to be doing. You see what I mean? And at the end of the day, you can look at almost anything. There's some teachings out there where they teach evil. But if you look at the core principles, right? If you look at the core principles of the 10 Commandments, let's say, right? The problem is does anybody live that out? You know what I'm saying? That say that's their principles. Especially those that is, they the ones that's teaching the principles and holding other people accountable for the principles.
exactly.
See, that's the science of how you end up with supreme mathematics but inferior results. See, that's for those of us that came out the Christian world, or whatever religious world. That's what I saw, is that all of this kingdom of God shit, man, it's inferior results down here on the planet. The
Like,
things that I see going on around me is not explained by this, righteous and benevolent, magical white man in the sky. It's not I ain't buying that.
to me, if you can't see results, then the math ain't right. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go back to one.
Listen, if it don't make a change in your life for the better, you're not one of us.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? If it don't make a change, that's because you're not even considering it. Like, look, at the very least, right? When you get this knowledge, you start eating at different places.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? There's just various changes that it makes in your life. With people that's around, you be like, whoa, man, what's up? What's up with this? What's up with that? Now, look, is the result positive or negative? Look, you got the knowledge. Cause see, this is real, right? You know how many people got the knowledge, right? And was on the honor roll, and within, you know, 9 months of them getting the knowledge, they was in Rikers Island.
Now living righteous. You know?
That's what I'm saying. If that's the change, so now exactly when you came around, what was you applying? You see, it's positive and negative everywhere, right? See, a lot of times that's what it comes down to, right? Look, we got brothers did that's doing life in jail, right? And we got brothers that's doctors and lawyers. See, a lot of times it depends on what you was looking for when you came into the knowledge. See, if you was looking for the fun bunch, like you was over there, you wanted to be down with, the tough guys or whatever, right? Then that's who you gravitated with, and then that's how that was the results that you got because of what you came and internalized and applied. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the person can tell you anything. The person can tell you how to shoplift. Person can say, look, if you want to shoplift from this store right here, this is what you gotta do. You ain't got to apply that knowledge. You ain't got to teach it to nobody in there. That's what you told me that. Like, yeah, that's something that I know, but
Yo, part itself, God, I'm on like 3% on my laptop, so
all right,
I'm
G.
yo, peace, appreciate y'all, bro. Peace.
Peace. You back down to the nitty gritty. You know what I'm saying? That uh, it's something that you gotta be consciously aware of. Like, yeah, certain things, right? Like, see, let's say, like, you know, just being us, right? There's certain things just being us, right? Like, when I have a son, right? My son is they the original man. My daughters, they the original women. See, I didn't have to consciously, yes, I mean, there's certain things that is just that's natural with us, right? We the Asiatic black men. But see, in order to reach our fullest potential, right? In order to put that into the kinetic form, we have to be consciously aware of the things that we're doing. We got to be consciously aware. Like, see, yeah, that's just physically, right? The original people. But see, them having, like the brother called me a while ago, right? And, you know, he was saying that his daughter had came home from college, and the first person that she called, right, and went to see was my daughter, because they grew up together. You know what I'm saying? Just saying that, uh, you know, that's an application. You know what I'm saying? In terms of me and this is my brother right here, right? And you know, these events that we going to, they basically family events. You know what I'm saying? Where my kids is there, his kids is there. So now that's the result of that. Is that now, you know what I'm saying, they got that community, you know what I'm saying, amongst themselves. So now look, even if me and him wasn't here, see, that is not just gonna happen, right? In the same way that they're gonna just be the Asiatic black man and the Asiatic black woman, right? And then even with that, look, you gotta be consciously aware. You gotta be consciously aware of who you're dealing with, even in that situation. You know what I mean? Because unfortunately or fortunately, however you see it, for me, look, you cannot get the original man from the colored woman. They down even the math don't math on that. You said there's such thing as transgression beyond boundaries called reprobate mind. The old folks used to say the devil is a liar and the truth not in them. Some of them can quote, some can preach. Now, I'm not sure what it's. I'm just saying, this I'm trying to work. This is some fire and brimstone you just came with right here. Transgression beyond boundaries. So that's when they must have fucked that really bad. But yeah, I know about reprobate mind. I'm saying that. I mean, look, what was I saying that brought that out? I don't know what I keep doing, man. I keep saying things that change the tone of the live stream. But like I was saying, man, in these different instances, man, you gotta consciously apply supreme mathematics. Like, see, even like everything you hear, if somebody tell you something, what is the, what is what's the measuring stick here? How do the scales work? Like, this is what I'm saying. Is an example, right? Right. Let's just say, if somebody tell you something and you be like, well, uh, he's from Canada, so it's got to be the truth. I just pulled that out the sky. If anybody here is from Canada, I'm not, but I'm just saying, if we using that to say this is how we know it's the truth. You said there are brothers that are doing time and such, but not so called utilizing supreme mathematics. Yeah. And listen, you know, what happens is on that time when they come out, and they don't go back no more, they'll tell you that. Yeah, that's what it was, man. As soon as I really started applying the mathematics, man, you know, I was I was trying to apply the mathematics to this negative shit I was doing, right? Thinking that it was going to save me, but really it just made me the best at doing negativity. It made me so good at doing negativity that it caught the attention of the police and got me in here. See, that's one of the mistakes. You see what I mean? When you say, man, you experiment with high explosives, man. See, some people experiment with high explosives and blow themselves up. You see, once they then experimenting, and some people, it's like, all right, let's try to reproduce that. Let's let's like we experimented. That first experiment ain't come out right. We're gonna adjust something, right, and run it. Let's run it back. Some people, that's what it takes. When you see them people, it's like, yo, they've been in jail 3 times, 4 times. That's what it is. They keep thinking that, yeah, if I adjust this one thing right here, right, then let's see what happens in this experiment. Then the amount of times down the line, right, hopefully when it's not too late and you didn't got yourself trapped off in there forever, right, they realize that, yo, you know what? This is what the fuck high explosives do. God damn it. Who would have thunk it? God damn it. This is what the fuck high explosives do? Why did somebody tell me? Why didn't somebody tell me that this is what high explosives do? We tried, you don't listen. You said, what are we measuring? I'm talking about when you said the measuring stick are we using after you made the Canada analogy. I'm saying, what are we using as the measuring stick to say if something is true or false? And then I said, suppose if for that measuring stick, we were saying that the person is from Canada. Like if a person made a statement, you know what I'm saying? The person said that they did a semi-tuck. If they told you they did a semi-tuck off of the Empire State Building with the 2-point landing and then walked off, right? If they tell us that, right, and then we say, damn, that sounds crazy, man. And then somebody says, yeah, but he's from Canada, so say, they don't lie. He's from Canada, so it's got to be true. Like it's crazy. Did anybody see that? No, but he's from Canada. Some people use stuff like that. Maybe not as we saying somebody from Canada, but yeah, they got people that the big homie said that. Now I'm saying, you know, according to the people who say they 5%, right? They say that they use supreme mathematics. See, like just something that I drew up for myself, right? When I see the scale of justice, you got that knowledge right there in the middle. You got that knowledge right here. See, this is where everything balanced at, see? And then you got what's on this side and what's on that side. See, you got this knowledge and you got those two sides, and that's how you see equality. Just I see equality, right? I see how these things here balance. Or if there's imbalance. But what happens if this knowledge right here, right, this thing that's in the middle, that the thing is balancing on, what happens if this is crooked? What happened if that's off a line, if that's out of whack, if that's not perpendicular, right? What happens? Your scale of justice is off. And you won't be able to see equality. So that's what it means, right? Just what I'm saying, right? And I'd use the example of somebody backflipping off of the what's your name, right? But bro, this happens every day with us with people in Christianity. Do they give us any one of these ridiculous stories from the Bible, right? And we say, all right, but look, mathematically, right? You know, according to the laws of physics, you know what I'm saying? And they say it says it in the Bible. And see, we know how many things people bring with them into this knowledge from Christianity. Man, you brought this up. And you know, I was talking about this earlier. I told y'all. That's it. Listen, I don't know if y'all know that about me. I'm that type of jerk. I'm just that type of jerk. I told y'all about that nigga. See, I was building with somebody, and I said that shit, guys. See, this is what shocks a motherfucker. See, look, and this is when we talking right about applying this shit. See, somebody can know the 10th degree in the 1 and 14. See, somebody could know the 10th degree in the 1 and 14. You know what shocks them? Is when they to someone else that the state surely fucking stings. Keep a pet snake if you fucking want to. Keep a pet snake if you fucking want to. And I ain't talking about no fucking animals. I told y'all. You see the result? You see somebody claim to have supreme mathematics and get inferior results? How? From applying bullshit. That's how. See, here's the thing. This is what I'm going to say. Look, you straight away, bro. You know why? Because one is respect, G. One is respect. So see, when you come in with that level of disrespect, we know you ain't dealing with this. But that's a perfect example. You know, this is what can happen when you waste your fucking time in this knowledge. This is what can happen. See, this is what can happen, right? When you ain't never showed and proved this stuff, man. So now, instead of somebody bullshitting you with a book, they bullshitting you with videos. This is what happens when you waste your time and your knowledge, man. See when it said, man, lose no time searching for that does not exist. This is what happens when you waste your time in the knowledge. This is what happens when you never graduate past level 1. When you've been introduced to this, you might know the lingo. But see, let's just say this, right? See, we a nation, right? Let's say if it was physical land, you just visiting, bro. You're not from here. You don't live by the laws and the social codes of this place. See, that's what it is. See, like this is what I'm saying. When you first get the knowledge, right, you got to be conscious of certain things. Like when I first got the knowledge, right, I'm in the store reading everything that I buy because I don't know I got the list with the ingredients. You know what I'm saying? And so, and from just being with the brothers, I know the common things. At that time, we looking out for stuff that wasn't even. But look, it was on the list. Red number 5, yellow number 6, lesser than, the. But now I don't even go in that section no more because I'm just not accustomed. Like the stuff that I would be shocked if this shit is cool to eat. I don't even know how much that stuff costs no more. You see what I mean? Because I went to the next levels of living this out. See, though, that first level you come into the knowledge, that's for babies. I'm not saying that the knowledge is baby knowledge. I'm saying it's in a form that babies can digest. Children that's coming out of, all other ways of life. Especially in this day and time, you got all kind of people that got the knowledge, all kinds of backgrounds. Not saying bad people, saying all various kinds of people. So yeah, you first get the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? And, let's say you learn the solar facts. Right? But see, there's a level of just quoting the solar facts. And it's a level, right, of really showing and proving that, really going into the studies of that, really knowing, the science of physics, and because we use physics. See, like all the stuff right here, the cell phone and all that don't work without physics. We use chemistry. When you wash your clothes with the detergent or whatever it is, but that's what I'm saying. You got that beginning level, or you got, if you really go to the level where, okay, you can make soap. You can build something, when you're building something, you're using the science of geometry, you're using the science of physics, all these different things. So we deal with all worlds from highest to lowest, right? From the cell to the universe. But see, he wasn't really doing that. So you look at these videos, this is optics. These people don't know about optics. It's the simple detail. What they be showing you, they show you these videos with a ship far away, and then they tell you how far away the ship is. all right, are you in communication with the people on that ship? How you know how far away that ship is? You telling me this is scientific? Tell me how you know how far away that ship is. You playing with the camera, all you doing is fucking with detail. Meaning, like, look, if you see a person, right, from across the room, and you see them, and you know that's the person, but if you get up close to them, you can see their pores and shit. But their pores is too small of a detail for you to see from a certain distance. These guys are clowns, man. These guys are clowns. And I'm just telling you, man, this is why you got to be careful, man. You got to be careful, man, right? About having these people around you, right? That you're calling God, that you're calling Earth, right? That you ain't make sure improve in no way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we grown people. So let's not say you made them do it. But people who haven't shown improvement in any way, right? And when you see them, you be like, yeah, peace to the God. See, because when you the one, right, that the snake surely stings, just remember that you decided to keep a pet snake. See, type of one in the box, right? Type of one in the box if you've ever gotten that call or you've seen the person, right? And they sparked up that conversation with you. Hey, yo, man, you know what this person did to me? You know what he did? You know what he said about me? Do you know what he did behind my back? Yeah, well, welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. But you decided to keep it pet snake, so that's what happened. Said apparently Wayne is easily led in the wrong direction. What he said. Cause I don't even, some people, man, let them live their life, man. Some people, man, let them live their life. He was the one who made the post. That's what I'm saying. But would he like he made some comment on it or something? Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, I see this. Look, he's the king of disinformation. He's listen. He's the king of disinformation. So that don't surprise me. Look, he did his job. See, sometimes you got to bear witness to what you say. You know what I'm saying? Like if you say, look, this person is a thief, and then you leave them alone in your rest, right? Okay, you ain't really bear witness to what you said. Full stop. Before we get to the part of the story where they stole from you, you didn't bear witness to what you said. How are you shocked? Now, yeah, once we get to that part, that's it. You're shocked at what happened? Some people, man, they did their job. They played their role, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, you know, the world is turning. And people got a job, they got a role. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Says share his views as a social commentator, political pundit, hip hop historian, and flat earther caused his standing in the 5% nation to be questioned. Questioned? See, here's the thing. All the stuff you put there. You put five, you put what? One, two, three, four things that you're better known for. But in that instance, I mean, nah, it says he ain't, ain't nothing bad there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess if you him, you know, oddly enough, oddly enough, it's funny because I remember, I remember telling y'all that one of the reasons you needed to watch your man was when those two was in the picture together. All around the time, people was wearing the flag that shouldn't have been wearing the flag. Or did y'all forget about that? See, I told you, I'm the kind of jerk that's going to tell you that I told you so. He said, some say he should be exiled while others advocate he is within his right as a 5% under free thought. Yeah, who's these free thought people? I mean, we need to listen. We're not gonna do nothing, but I just don't want them. I don't want them coming around me, and I'm not gonna be going around them. that's who are these people? Because look, there's some merit to that. That you got the right to be wrong. But see, there's also a thing as far as I'm, look, people like to say that, right? Let's agree to disagree. But what happens when we agree to disagree on 51% of the shit? Or what happens when we agree to disagree on the foundation of everything? At a certain point, we don't rock. At a certain point, we not the same. See, I keep telling you, yeah, everybody wants to harp on that, bro. When I knew was when he said cipher comes before knowledge. When he said we say that knowledge comes first, but really, we wrong. Cipher comes before knowledge. Or did you miss when I told you that? You see, get back that free thought is a little that gets real funny. It's your right under free thought. See, that's a little bit different than you have the right to be wrong. Right? So you have the right to be wrong because everybody got to learn at their own pace. See, if you only see something because I said it and you don't really see it for yourself, right? Then that's religious. See, that's the same thing we saying when we know that all the laws of reality is telling us something else, right? But the Bible, the Pope interprets the Bible in this way. 100 years later, he'll reinterpret it another way. But right now, he's interpreting it in this way. And so now that's how you're doing it, even though you don't think this to be right. See, this is still religion. So if the person don't see it yet, then they still got to deal with knowledge and wisdom. That's understandable. But when you're saying it's his right under free thought, you're saying that it's cool for him to be teaching that because he's dealing with free thought? Or you saying that he's wrong and anybody can be wrong? Because those are two different things to me. You see what I'm saying? See, that's why I have to wonder about the person who say that's free thought. See, because that's the kind of person that I am. I don't just watch Yakub. I watch the 59,999 too. I watch those amongst the 30% that created the condition with 59,999 will want to follow a plan like that. But uh, you know, I mean, listen. I mean, do y'all remember the things that he said to Minister Freedom? So see, now it's happening. Now it's supposed to be, it's supposed to be, uh, everybody's up in arms. Like, man, listen. He's just a he's listen, man. It just goes to just show you, man, that that's what we be talking about. That's what we be talking about. Listen, ring the fucking bell for the old school. See, all y'all new motherfuckers, that's why I'm ready. Y'all. See, I when shit get fucked up. It's it's when the funk comes out. That's when niggas say y'all. See, when you going through lessons with a motherfucker, you would have been known. See, when it's all this happy-go-lucky, oh, peace to the God, yo, that song was dope, God. Yo, the album was classic. See, when it's all that shit, but when it's, yo, God, how you see today's mathematics? What degrees you knowledge? How you see the Bill of Destroy degree in the 1 of 40? Manifest. See, do you think, this is a question, do you think if you was going through it with a person like that every day, that you might have known that they didn't really bear witness to these teachings the whole time? Do you think that would improve your chances of knowing who the weak link is? Type 1 in the box if you think that might improve your chances. Type 2 in the block if in the box if you think, nah, that's just some shit. That's hold up. The traditional gods. I remember the first time I heard that term. That's just some shit, right? That yeah, old heads, man. I don't know. Y'all just want to sit around and talk about that all day. Type 2 in the box. If that's all you think it is. But if you think that, wait a minute, hold up. Because see, we would have had to build, right? We would have had to build on the knowledge degree to the build degree in the 1 of 40. If we building every day, right? Then just in the last week, right? We built on the last week in one day, we built on 8 degrees that's based upon the earth being a globe. Do you think you might have known after the wisdom day that he's not with us? Type type 1 in the box if you think that after the wisdom day you would have known he wasn't with us. Type 2 in the box if not, I wouldn't have told you nothing. This is the reason. This is the reason. This is it right here. See, and I'm glad it happened like that, right? Maybe this is what it took for y'all to see, because for a lot of y'all, he's a hero. You know, for some people, he's the face of it. But you see what starts happening? Just look, under basic examination, examination, basic examination. See, this is why this is why you get killed, man. This is why, man. We want to know how you deal with your lessons, man. Because how did you examine this stuff? How you examine this stuff? How you came up with this? Where you got this from? Yeah, that's look. Those are y'all people, man. those, those are y'all people. Those are y'all people. You know what I'm saying? But look, that's that's a science right there. You know, that's a result. You know, that's the science of ciphers, right? Is that, you know, you can't really tell where the beginning or the end is, but I'm saying the beginning is the end and the end is the beginning. Right? Meaning that in life, right, there's some things where it's like, okay, everything that's about our situation right now is the result, right, of decisions that was made before. But at the same time, the situation right now becomes the seeds, right, of the environment and the decisions that's gonna result in something else down the line. So, you know, this is the result, right, of somebody being in a lane, right, where people ain't examining it for whatever's the reason, right? For whatever's the reason, they're not being examined. You gotta be aware of all I see, and then you wonder why, you know, as a whole, we can't be successful because we got shit like this amongst us. But that's you know, hey, look, you know, uh, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, look, you know, uh, I'm glad everybody else woke up. I'm glad everybody else woke up. You know what I'm saying? That's peace, Phil G. everybody else woke up, you know what I'm saying, to see the reality, about look, here's a question, right? Remember earlier, right, when I was saying like what was the criteria? What was the criteria that you use to determine that this individual is true and living? See, when you really think about it, right? All you did was use our language. Can anybody else, and I know that there's some people that's from New Rochelle, right, that probably know. If there's anybody like that, speak up too. But other than that, right, what was the criteria that you used? Because see, I know for a fact, right, that a lot of y'all, y'all use some strong criteria. See, I could tell, this how I could tell, right, by some of the people that have come to me, right, and said, yo, a brother that be on your live stream, he asked me if I know you, if you was peace. So see, you went and checked the files on me, right? And you went to some heavy hitters to check the files on me. Did you do did you do that with? See, like I said, I have some pet peeve of mine. I feel some kind of way about that. Where everybody don't have to be on the same standard that everybody holds me to. Like, do you have any idea? I'm sure some of y'all do. But do you have any idea what the events, the environment would just be, right? If I start talking that shit on this channel, it'd be people coming from other states to find out what's going on with me. I don't think people would be talking about my right, my right to free thought. What's the difference, G? You gotta tell me what's the difference, G. That's another thing that's just not, it's not right, G. Now look, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back to a different part of the story, right? Let's go back to how a lot of people on the internet first got introduced to me. Right? Think about that for a minute, right? Think about the first times that you see me on YouTube. So what's the difference? Why was that cool? Because he don't got as much money as him? Because he not a rapper? That's what I'm saying. It's never been, for me, see, for other people, man, I always been like that. But listen, for some people, right, they my brothers. For the rest of them, look, when I leave, right, when me and my brothers leave, then you can tell everybody that you got, because you'll be the most high out of everybody that's left. So you go over there, over there. Do not come around me, right? Do not come around me and say that you this. That's what I'm saying. District 120, you hit it on the head. That's what I'm saying. So why does anybody? That's what I'm saying. What makes him better than him? But yeah, that's that is a world class lesson. That's a world class lesson in what that level of examination, right? Why that level? Because that's not the only examination. It's not like we could just go through the lessons, right? And we you tick all these boxes. Okay, that was the talk. Of course, we got to see the war. Of course, just the weight of the physical walk, the hitting the ground, that is heavy. It weighs heavy on the scale, the walk. You see, sometimes I ain't got to go through the bullshit with you. See, we don't have to go someplace and you do something stupid for me to know that you was going to do something stupid when you try to explain to me that the earth is flat. You see how simple, how see I've seen like, oh wait a minute, this is how, in this situation, this is how you think. And see, we can apply that mathematics to anything, you know what I'm saying? We talking about a different situation that's not involving us. But I see how you weighed and judge who was right and who was wrong. See, I can see if you drew up what a snake really is. If you drew up what a devil really is. If you drew up who God really is. See, I can see that from the lessons. All right, and look, it could even be, look, for both of our safety, right? You my brother and I love you. But I'm gonna see you later while I go to handle certain things because you're not, I might not, put it in those exact terms. But listen, we about to break the sound barrier. Fuck the speed limit. So you sit this one out. Or even in terms of, it's certain ciphers that they over there, like, all right, that's the, I see who's over there. What they talking about? Nah, let me not get involved with that. See, because I know the type of stuff they be talking about because I built with them. And see, like I said, look, I judge people. See, I judge for me. I don't judge for you. Whether you a good person or a bad person, or whether you should be doing what you're doing or shouldn't be doing what you're doing, right? I gotta judge whether I want to be around you. I got to make a judgment whether I'm gonna tell my children, I stay away from over there where they be at, or yeah, nah, it's cool if you go down there and be with them. You know, look, you bought your food, you do what you do, but look, I gotta judge, right? Rather, if you say, yo, you want to play, these are the various things. But I think, man, we go ahead and wrap this one up because we got tomorrow to go anyway, and I already then got caught up now talking about a whole other topic You know, we came on here with such positivity, such positive vibrations, you know. But yeah, that's what happens messing around with you 5%. They warn me. So you know, shout out to we had some people some new people. What's the brother's name? Right here, Andre Coleman. He actually, I remember Andre Coleman is not new. He's been around. But welcome back. You know what I'm saying? Uh, everybody that made it this far, you know what I'm saying? Do the each one teach one. Hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Uh, what's the brother's name? Jake Pierre. You hit the dislike button. You know what I'm saying? Because like I told y'all, this like wrestling. This WWF. Yes, I mean, so look, the dislikes, the likes, you know, uh, you know, subscribe to the channel. You know, other than that, in the meantime, between time, I'm gonna sign off and say peace. We'll be in tomorrow. And signing off. Nanu Nanu.